station. He has a booth on 409 and 411 to show support. We have a few pictures up, not right now, but we do have a few pictures coming so you can see them. Here they are. So these are just some of the pictures from Jeremy. And we have Esther Nicholson. She's a keynote speaker. She's an author, a teacher, renowned vocalist, and she will be speaking at both services August 20th, followed by a workshop entitled The Forgiveness Process Workshop. And we have a little clip for you guys here.
When you return home, and there ain't no place like home, say ain't no place like home. When you return home to your true self, you are empowered. You are confident. You are free from fear and worry and confusion. You are brilliant. You are luminous. You are in the crystal clear intention of moving forward with your purpose, with discipline and focus, without hesitancy. Say, without hesitancy. Because I feel safe. Say it. That's what home feels like.
Yeah. Right? She's not even here yet. So August 20th, if you want a whole 45 minutes of that, this is where she's going to be, and then there's a workshop at the end. And with all that being said, it's time to stand up and greet your neighbor.
Such a friendly, fun-loving group at Seaside. Good morning, Seaside. Please remain standing if you are able. We're going to do our congregational song, I'm Choosing Heaven Today. Now, let me tell you, we're going to do it a little differently than the way we've done it in the past. There's a thing called calling it 4 count. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So hear this. See, as I'm ready, and it's 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. I'm choosing heaven today. There you go. I'm choosing heaven today. I am walking the road of heaven right now, singing, I'm choosing heaven today. There you go. I'm choosing love today. I'm choosing love today. on the 2-4 count. Good morning. I'm not Dr. Christian Sorensen. I'm Reverend Dr. Christina Tillotson, and it's my honor to welcome you all to Seaside Center for Spiritual Living on this beautiful August day. Our spiritual leader, Dr. Christian, is on vacation in Montana, and it's a very amazing time for him to be there because he's in the path of the eclipse next week. So I'm sure when he comes back, he's going to have some amazing things to tell us. And so today, we have the honor of Kimjera Whittington, who's a ministerial student. She'll be graduating in the summer, and our new director of education at Seaside. She's going to be doing our talk today, so let's give her a big welcome. So again, welcome. Seaside Center for Spiritual Living is a vibrant spiritual community that works for everyone. So thank you so much for being here and sharing your light and your love with us. And we always begin with prayer. So our amazing practitioner, David Yankauskas, will take us into a moment of stillness and an invocation.
Good morning. Please join me in a moment of silence. Knowing that the presence of God is here right now, knowing that that presence of God is eternal, that that presence of God is infinite, that that presence is pure love, perfect in every ways. I know I am one with that presence I call God. I know that there is only that oneness that is within, that is distributed through my presence. And as I know that truth for myself, I know that truth for each and every one here. And so perfect God within us, perfect life within us, which is God, come forth into expression through us for that which we are. Lead us ever into the paths of perfection and cause us to see only the good. That good is right here, right now, and I am eternally thankful for that.
God is so good. God is so good. Thank you, Leslie Green, for singing us in so beautifully, and David Yankauskas for starting us in such a sacred manner. So now I get to welcome you again, especially if you're here at Seaside for the first time. We welcome you. Thank you so much for sharing your light and your love with us today. In the back, at the welcome table, as you go out the back door, we have a special gift for you, a little packet with some CDs and gift certificates for the bookstore, just to thank you so much for being here to share your light and your love with us today. And here at Seaside, we're part of a worldwide organization called Centers for Spiritual Living. We're based in Colden, Colorado. We're in 30 countries, and our vision is to awaken humanity to its spiritual magnificence for a world that works for everyone. So if you can align with that, you're in your right place. Here at Seaside, we're also very present in the interfaith community. How many of you went to the North American Interfaith Alliance conference this week? All right, yes. It was down at UCSD. I got to present there, but we had all kinds of field trips to the Islamic Center and the Mormon Temple and the First Mission in California. But the highlight was the field trip to Seaside on Tuesday, where our own Dr. Christian blew everybody away and the Sikhs served dinner. So you're in a place that really celebrates all paths. So thank you so much for being here, whatever your path is on. And today, Kimjera is going to be talking about now. So I've chosen from Michael Singer's book, The Untethered Soul, a little bit of reading about that. What it means to live life is to experience the moment that is passing through you, and then experience the next moment, and then the next, and the next, and the next, and the next, and the next. Many different experiences will come in and pass through you. It's a phenomenal system when it's working properly. If you could live in that state, you would be a fully aware being. This is how an awakened being lives in the now. They are present. Life is present, and the wholeness of life is passing through them. Imagine if you were so fully present during each experience of life that it was touching you to the depth of your being. Every moment would be a stimulating, moving experience because you would be completely open and life would be flowing. So let's take these ideas into prayer, or affirmative prayer. So in this moment of now, turn to that light, that love, that presence of love and joy and peace that is through and as all of its creation in every sacred moment of now. It's what I call God, and it doesn't matter if it's called Allah or Adonai or the Tao or the Force or nature or snook'em-doodles, doesn't matter. It's that power and that presence through as all of its creation, from the tiniest atom to the farthest galaxy to every single universe and parallel universe, and all of creation. It is all one. It is all life. It is all love. It is all spirit in every single sacred moment of now. And that is who I am, and each beautiful spirit here is, and each one coming in through the podcast is. Perfect expressions of that light and that love and that peace of spirit in this sacred moment of now, expressing it all right here and right now at Seaside and throughout the world. And so I'm knowing for this sacred time together that presence, that exquisite presence of God that is right here and right now flows through and as each one here and each one coming in on the podcast, each one listening to the archives. And each one in all places in the world that are having challenges, especially in Charlottesville, I'm absolutely knowing that light and that love and that peace and that presence of spirit right here and right now flows through and as each one affected and each one assisting and dealing with the issues. And I'm just knowing that power and that presence of light and love flows from us, from each one here, through and as each place that is challenged in the world, allowing this whole world to be enveloped
in that light and that love and that presence of Spirit right here and right now. And for this light and this love and this peace and this nowness of that presence of Spirit being revealed through and as each one, I'm so, so grateful as I release this word to the law, knowing that it is now done in perfect life, in perfect love, in perfect peace and joy in the presence of Spirit. And so it is. Amen.
Okay, good morning again, Seaside. It's a pleasure to be here. I'm subbing for Rebecca Jade. For those of you who don't know me, I'm her mom, Leslie Green. Isn't it funny? No matter how old they get, thank you. No matter how old they get, Mom, could you sub for me? Okay. So it's an honor and a pleasure to be here. She's, for those of you who don't know, she's touring with Sheila E. And so it's been a wonderful honor. So she's been in and out of town. But she should be back for next Sunday. That's the plan. She'll be back in town. But anyway, for those of you also, I just wanted to give a quick little thing here, too. I am directing the choir here at Seaside. And on September the 10th, we will resume rehearsals. So we do for Thanksgiving and Christmas programs. So anyone who's interested in joining the Seaside Choir, we meet back here in the rose room. I know, the pinkish rose room on Sunday, September the 10th. So let us know. You all are welcome, even if you don't sing well or read music, it's okay. We'd love to have you. Okay, so that's that. Oh, and one other quick thing, too, before I introduce our guest. These lovely flowers are from Fritz in honor of his wife who passed away. So we know it's a loss, but thank you for sharing your love with your flowers of your wife. So now our guest artist. We are very thrilled and honored to have a beautiful, talented young lady. She's a local talent. Her name is Kimmy Dye, and she has some CDs back there for sale, so definitely want to support your local artist. And if you want to check on her as to where her gigs are locally, she's kimmydye.com. Real simple email, guys. Okay, so you can track her down that way to see where she's playing around locally. So let's put your hands together for a wonderful Seaside welcome to Miss Kimmy Dye.
It's so nice to be back here. I was excited when Rebecca said that she was going to be gone, but then or invited me to come and then said, my mom's going to be there. It's like, cool. I love moms. So it's great to work with you, Leslie. All right. You guys ready? It's going to be fun.
Where do you go when you're feeling low? And what do you do when you can't even reach the straps to pull up your boots? And how do you find peace of mind in a world that's gone insane with so much pain? Home, it's where you lay your head to rest. Home, it's where you always feel your best. It may not have four walls or look exactly like the rest, but home is not a place, it's a feeling that you get. Sigh of relief, pulling up the drive. The pep in your step that appears when you're looking at the peak of your climb. It's everything that makes you smile and fills you up with joy. It can't be destroyed. Home, that's where you lay your head to rest. Home, it's where you always feel your best. It may not have four walls or look exactly like the rest, but home is not a place, it's a feeling that you get.
Thank you so much, Kenny. That was amazing. Good morning, Seaside. So glad to be here. So I'll tell you a little secret. My talk title is called This Is My Now, which Dr. Christina mentioned earlier. But what's really, really cool is literally, this is my now. Because this is kind of a big deal to be here and to be with you. And for those of you who don't know, I'm a third-year ministerial student, so I'm in my final year. And you don't get asked to do places like Seaside when you're a ministerial student. So I am so incredibly honored and excited and just so blessed to have you all here with me today. So we're going to talk a little bit about setting our intention and what it means to be present and create the life that we want to live. And I wanted to start with telling you a little bit of a story about a documentary. My husband, Brent, who when he goes to bed at night, he loves documentaries, and he likes to listen to them because usually they're motivational and there's positive stuff happening. Well, he listens to the positive documentaries. And there's one called Maiden Trip. And this documentary is about a young girl. Her name is Laura Decker, and I highly recommend watching this documentary, and you're going to hear why as I talk through this. But she had set herself on a journey and an intention that she wanted to be the youngest person, boy or girl, to sail around the world alone. Wow, right? Like, that's a bigger intention than I can even imagine. And what was so cool about this story and what she did, it reminded me a lot of my daughter, Kendall. And sorry, honey. I know. I always got to bring up my family when I'm talking. She's like sitting here going, oh gosh, Mom, what is she going to say? But it reminded me of my daughter, Kendall, because Laura is this energy-filled, smart, vibrant, just incredible young girl. She is powerful. She knows what she wants, and no one's going to stop her. And she was raised sailing. So her father was a sailor, and she was raised doing this. And so even at the young age of 10, she lived in the Netherlands, and she sailed even to another country just right next door, but she did it all by herself at age 10. Now I have a 9-year-old, and I'm like, wow, that would be big. And as a parent, to let them go do that would be a definite whole nother talk of surrendering, right? Yeah. So as she did this, right, she set this intention, and her dad said, sure, if you want to go do this and you want to sail around the world all by yourself, you've got to make it happen. And so Laura set out to do that. She was like, fine, I will work every job I have to work. I will raise the money to get the boat. I will fix up the boat. I will go gather all the maps, because as you know, when you sail, there are certain times that you can actually go through certain oceans, right? There's certain times that the swells are so high that you can't do it. And so she did it all herself. And that's kind of the drive that I'm talking about when we talk about setting our intention, is what Laura did. And what Abraham Hicks tells us, and I know Christian talked last week a little bit about the law of attraction, and we're doing sacred circles right now around his book, but he says, what you think about activates a vibration within you. And I thought, that's so true. And it kind of reminds me of the whole idea of when I'm thinking of the law of attraction, what I am seeking is also seeking me, right? So what I'm looking for, I'm trying to get on that alignment with that vibration, with that energy of what's out there, so that what I am seeking comes in alignment, and together we can co-create a magnificent life, right? Because Spirit wants that for us. And so in this vibration, I think to myself, okay, if I'm going to do this and I'm going to set my intention, what do I have to do? And I think there's 3 things. I call them the 3 S's. So I'm going to give these to you as a takeaway. I think that when we set our intention, we've got to do 3 things. We've got to state what we want. And we have to state it in a way that is clear and that I believe is either in written form or verbal form. Because we do a lot of mind chatter, right? And we think of what we want in our mind. But that doesn't always relate to what manifests for us. But when we write it down or we say it out loud, something amazing happens, because there's a connection to it being said. The second thing we have to do is we have to be specific. And if we're not specific enough, and I don't mean specific in, okay, I want to create a relationship and he's got to be 6'4", brown hair, handsome, he's got to have muscles, got to have a good, no, that's not what I'm talking about. right? It's creating it in a specificity with the feeling behind it. Because there's something that happens when we feel it. And so it would look more like, I want to create this dynamic love relationship where I feel sourced. I feel like this person is on the same level as me, that we are dancing together, and I feel love and joy when I'm around them. They make me laugh, right? It's creating that level of specificity. And the third S is we got to be sold. I know that's a funny one, but the reason that I say that is if we're not sold on what we're setting our intention on, then things can get involved and sway us differently. So we have to stand in what we're claiming, right? And we have to believe that we own it. Do you guys believe that you own what you're claiming? Right? That yes, that it's coming. It's going to happen. That's what we're looking for. Sold, right? You got to be sold. And and what I like to say is being sold at the level that again, no one can change it, and that you yourself don't become wishy-washy. Right? Because we can do that. We can let other people's opinions get into our own head, and then we'd start doubting. So if we're trying to create that vibrant, healthy life, and in doing that, we feel like, okay, maybe there's some form of us, let's say, we might have arthritis, and we're saying, universe, I know that I am going to be vibrant and healthy and be cleared of all of this arthritis. And then in the back of our mind, we're saying, but if at least I'm pain-free, that's good enough, right? We ever done that where we kind of give like the caveat? Like, I'll take this if this is too big of a request of the universe, I'll take this at least, right? So that's that plane that we're on when we want to say, you know what? No, my friends would laugh at me because I usually will look at them and go, just no, right? We're not doing that. My friend Missy's laughing, I can hear her. But yes, we want to stand in it so firm that we're like, no, we're not going to accept anything other than perfect health, period. And then the universe comes into alignment. We're on that vibrational plane, and it's like, all right, let's figure out how we can make that happen, and it's with you as you do that. I know that even in my own studies, going into ministerial school, I have had so many people on my path tell me, well, I don't know how you're going to do this, girl. You are a full-time job. You have 3 beautiful children. You have a husband. You have a family. How are you going to do all this? And I'm like, you know what? When I set my intention and I'm called, right? When you're called to something, nothing can stop you. And so my thought is, well, how can I not? How can I not? Going back to the story of Laura Decker, it's kind of crazy how she does this in this story. Is Laura was actually getting herself ready. Like I told you, she was 13 years old. And for that year that she was being in preparation and she was moving her feet and doing the stuff she needed to do, what ended up happening was the country of the Netherlands got wind through media of what was happening. And they actually took her and her father to court to take her away from her father so that they could prevent her from doing what her dream was, right? Can you imagine having an entire country try and prevent you from your dream and your intention? And Laura spent, I think, over 10 months, don't quote me on that, but I think she spent about 10 months in court battling for her right to do what she wanted to do. And she won, right? Amazing. So Laura, in 2010, set sail. She did 519, in 519 days, did 27,000 nautical miles. She started when she was 14. She ended in 2012 when she was 16. And to date, she is the youngest to sail around the world. Yeah, pretty cool. Abraham Hicks also says this, which goes along with that vibrational intention, is he says, the secret of the universe really is minding your own business, right? He says, what we mean by that is, don't get so involved in the desires or the beliefs of others that you cause confusion or chatter in your own vibration and compromise your own alignment. That's what we were talking about, right? Letting other people basically live rent-free in your head, telling you what you can and cannot do. I say no to that, right? And that's what Laura did. She had an entire country trying to do that, and it didn't happen. So I wanted to tell you a little bit about, I don't know if you're familiar with the military, but when Navy SEALs go in, and they're going to go into what's called their Hell Week, they call it wanting to become a frogman on Friday. And there is an article that was written that has always stuck with me, because it describes that after you've gone through all of the work and the time to get to that level where you're actually in Hell Week, out of all of the people who are there, 80 to 85% of them never make it to day 3. Wow, right? That's what I said. I was like, are you serious? Are you sure that statistic is correct? But it is. And it's because this is what they do. And I found this so fascinating because it's such a metaphorical representation, but they put a little bell right in front. And then the idea of the people that are working them through the Hell Week is to push them to their lowest of the low and see how they respond. And all they have to do is go up and hit that bell 3 times. They're out, never come back, done, right? But how many of us in our lives have that bell sitting there? How many of us know that we could hit that bell at any time, right? But what's so interesting is we also have the ability to live just moment by moment and not focus on the bell, but focus on the now. Focus on what's happening right in this moment, because that's where the power ultimately is in the now. So God, Spirit, I'm telling you, you are so loved. God wants you to be successful. God wants you to have everything that you could possibly imagine for yourself and for your life. And I know it because I live it. There are times when I'm like, really, Spirit, really? And yes, it's really happening, right? There's nothing you can do to stop it from happening. It's happening. And what I'm hoping is that you'll walk away from this moment realizing that living presently is where that really lies. That next level of beingness that you want to create comes from being in the now and listening. So I want to tell you another story. And this is probably a little emotional for me because it just happened. And it's regarding a good friend of mine, Misty Miller, who's actually here in the audience, and she's given me permission to tell this story. But Misty and I have been friends for probably over 7 or 8 years. And we're the type of friends where we've done some fun stuff together, and then we might not talk for a while. You have those friends, and then you talk again, and it's like as if you just talked yesterday. Yeah, so that's kind of how we are. And a couple weeks ago, we were chatting, and she, just through the conversation we were having, there was something happening. There was some kind of an energy happening. And she was like, you know what? We need to get together, and I want to introduce you to my mom and my good friend, Tammy, and we need to get together because there's something here that maybe we could co-create together. It was like you could feel that coming up for us. And so we set an intention, and within a couple days, 4 busy people, I don't know how we did it in just a couple days, but again, Spirit was behind us and needed us to come together, and we did. And what I didn't tell you about Misty is Misty was going through some crazy transformation in her life. So she was selling her house, and it was the second time she had just found out that week that it had fallen through escrow. We've all been in a situation where something major like that. And the reason she was selling her house was to move in with her beautiful mom. And her mom is having some health challenges, and so it was really important for her to be there to support her mom. And again, her house had fallen through escrow. She was going through a change in a relationship that she had been in for quite some time and deciding that maybe this wasn't the right relationship for her and making those decisions right now. And so there was a lot going on in her. And as we came together, she was parking her car, and we actually ended up meeting in downtown Encinitas. And she was parking her car and coming around by the 7-Eleven, and there actually was this homeless person sitting there, right? And quite frankly, the homeless person was, talking out loud and had some challenges. And, to a lot of people probably seemed a little bit crazy. And so what Misty saw was people doing this. They saw the homeless person and they decided to walk around as far as they could, literally off the curb, onto oncoming traffic, just to avoid having to communicate or be near this person, right? And Misty saw this, and she had this voice inside that said to her, pay attention. Don't do that. Maybe she has something to tell you. And what I was so proud of her for is she listened. And she went right up to the person, walked right near her, and they looked eye to eye. And the person said, dust off your nest. The Son of God is here. And Misty came back, and literally we're all sitting there at this table, and we're like, what happened? And she's like, I don't know. She's like, she explained what happened. She's like, we were locked in eyes, and this is what she said to me. She goes, and I think I need to listen. And we got it. Dust off your nest. Get rid of all the crap. Let it go. Get rid of everything that is blocking you from living right now in this moment. Clear it. And it doesn't matter. The Son of God is here. Whether you want to call that Jesus, God, Spirit, Earth, I don't care. That means that you're sourced and supported right now. There's something greater, and it has you. And she was telling her, you're sourced. It's got you, Misty. And we just started to cry, all of us, because we were like, who listens to a homeless person on the side of the street? But Misty did. She did. And we were so clear. And so what I want to leave you with today is a little bit different than probably what you hear a lot of times when someone gets up here. I want you to go home for the next 24 hours. I want you to actually do nothing. I want you to breathe. I want you to sit in the silence. I want you to connect. Because there's something in you that needs that vibrational oneness for that law of attraction to come into place. And then once you're clear and you've done that, dust off your nest. What do you have to dust off? What needs to go away? What needs to be released so that you can move forward in living a full and present life? Because I know each and every one of you deserve it. God's got you. You're being supported. And that manifestation, that creation is on its way to you. Namaste. Thank you. I'm going to bring back Kenny. And this is a little special treat for you because this was kind of an inspiration for my talk. And she is going to wow you with the most amazing song. So I hope you enjoy.
It's not my song. But I learned it just for you, Kimjera. All right. Almost there. Ready. Pack my dreams away, living in a shell, hiding from myself. And there was a time when I was so afraid, I thought I'd reach the end, but baby, that was then. I am made of more than my yesterdays. This is my now. I am breathing in the moment.
hide, to find the strength to take my fate. And this is my now. In the moment, as I look around, I can't believe the love I see. My fears behind me, gone are the shadows and doubt that was then. And this is mine now, and I have the courage like never before. I settle for this now. I'm ready for more. I'm ready for more. And this is my now. I am in the moment as I look around. I can't believe the love I see. My fears behind me, gone are the shadows and down. That was then, and this is my now. I see. My fears behind me, gone are the shadows and down. That was then, and this is mine now.
Was she good or what? Oh, wow. So this is our time of giving. And I'm going to invite the ushers to come forth. And just sit in this moment right now, just knowing we've got, I want to thank all those people that do auto tithing. You know, what's so amazing about Seaside is that we are here to demonstrate this message and this beauty into the world, into the community, into all of San Diego and beyond. And so for each and every one of you that does support us, we're so incredibly grateful. So for our auto tithers and for those that mail in, I am so grateful for each and every one of you. And with that, let's say our affirmation of abundance together. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Spirit continues to bless my world. Gratefully I live as the giving expression of Spirit, opening the floodgates of the affluent flow of greater good as my life now. Come on over, girl. And so, falling over. As I take a deep breath and just feel the presence, knowing that this is God in action, as the form of energy, as the form of money. And I know that right here and right now that there is some amazing growth happening within Seaside, within the world, as we awaken humanity to a world that works for everyone. I claim that this is good and prosperous and that this goes on to affect millions of lives. And so I know right now, and I'm in gratitude, just thanking everybody who has given, whether online, whether through the podcast and the archives, or whether right here in person. And so I just know and bless it and allow it to go out and do its good, and so it is. This is Tina Board, our board member. I got to do a Gourmets for God with my husband and her last night, a Gourmets for God event, and got to meet or spend more time with her and her husband. They're phenomenal people. Thank you so much, Leslie, for all that you did today, filling in. Kenny, oh my God, I just adore you. Thank you so much. We got sound in the back happening with Marv and Ed. Thank you so much. Dr. Christina, I could not have wanted, and I don't know if you guys know, but Dr. Christina is in charge of our entire distance program for ministerial. She's amazing. Thank you. I wanted to let you know once again, the flowers are offered by Fritz in joyous love and honor for the birthday of his fabulous, loving wife, Arlene. So we appreciate that. And I'd just like to say a quick thank you to all of you from within my life that are here supporting me today on my first time. I see all of you out there, so thank you. And let's go ahead and talk a little bit with our kiddos. Let me grab this. Anyone want to share? Anything cool happen? They're totally having a little conversation down here talking about it. Hello? Do you want to talk?
We made bookmarks.
Wow. Oh, is that Ryan's? Do you want to show him? Oh, not at this time, he said, which is fine, right? He has the right to that. So let's go ahead and say to our Seaside kids, if you guys can repeat after with me, we see you. We love you. We support you in your magnificence. Thank you. All right, let's go ahead and we're going to go into prayer one last time. So let's go within, everybody. Just settle into your seat. Just breathing in, knowing that there is this divine presence that is right here, praying, having its being, living in its vibration with you and as you. This is God in action. It is the essence of everything. It is the peace. It is the love. It is the dynamic nature of all of earth. I know that we are divinely connected to it, that my connection is pure, and that each and every person that is here today and online with us is feeling, knowing, and existing in that love of God. And what I know right now is that if anyone is having any challenge of less than wholeness, if they're experiencing anything from a health standpoint, if they are experiencing anything from a prosperity standpoint, that they throw it into the center of this space, knowing that there is a divine essence of God taking it and dissipating it. For it cannot be so. For there is only good, there is only love, there is only joy, there is only vibration of energy and life and goodness happening. I claim right now that for those in Charlottesville that have experienced any sense of loss or tragedy, for those that have lost their lives, that we throw and know and send love and joy and peace, for they are surrounded in it, for they are coming from it, and that there is something greater taking place right here and right now. I have to know it. And I just allow that love to send forth to all of them. And so in this moment, I just sit in the gratitude of each and every person here, the gratitude of this world and of this life. And I know that living in this moment right now is exactly where I am meant to be. And I release these words into the action of the law. And so it is.
There was a time in my life when I thought I had to do it all myself, but I didn't know the grace of God was sufficient. I didn't know the love of God was at hand, but now I can say, if you are discouraged and you are struggling just to make it through another day, you've got to let it go. Let it go. Bye-bye. And this is what you have to say. I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith, I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith, I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here. Let me hear you, Seaside.
And I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God.
No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith, I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here. Yes, I'm only here. Yes, I am only here for God.
All right, and together, if we can say our affirmation today. I know what I want, and I see it coming to me. Again, I know what I want, and I see it coming to me.
I'm living in love. I'm living in peace. I'm living my life for what I believe, through joys and through fears. In this world as I walk, God's grace shines on me, and it shines on us all. We are living in grace. We are living in grace. We are living in grace. We're living in love. We're living in peace. United we stand as one family. We honor all truth as together we walk. God's grace moves to me, and it moves through us all. We are living